Pokemon Center. Please let me talk to you. I do know about a Pokemon called Audino. It gives mad experience, bro.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome back.
Sick nasty.
Sick nasty.
So, what are we doing now? Where are we going?
So we're in Nakreen City. Yeah.
Yep.
It's like it's a weird like small town vibe, but it's called a city, and like every house is actually like a renovated like warehouse basically. It's cool.
Cool.
So the next gym is here. Also, we're gonna do some fighting because
Gym 2.
Gym 2, yeah. We're in a weird spot though. So for one, Charon very kindly informed us the type of this gym is normal.
Yeah.
And do you recall the one type that normal is weak to?
Fighting?
It is fighting. Good job.
Man, I'm good.
Unfortunately for us, we don't have any normal Pokemon, but also fortunately for us is that normal has no type advantage. So we
Right.
can charge in there with like either Lucifer or Meatmun and probably be okay. So my only concern at this point is levels, how we compare level-wise.
Yeah.
And the reason we're in a weird sitch right now is the next area past the city, Roggenrola! Hang on. So Roggenrola is the Pokemon I mentioned last session, where I was like, I kind of want this on the team. Yeah?
It has no face.
It has no face.
He has no face. He has no face.
That hole might also be an eye. You don't know. So Roggenrola, consider. Back to my point. We're at this weird spot because the next area after Nakreen City is a forest that has mainly grass types, which aren't too big of an issue. The big issue is bug types.
Right.
And bug types are an issue because bug is super effective against both grass and psychic. And the way I remember the bug beating psychic is that if you were trying to like meditate, bug would really annoy you and you wouldn't be able to do it.
Ah.
So there's your little, not moniker, but there's your little like
Also,
mental
bugs
image.
eat grass.
Yes, correct.
Big brain.
Yeah, also like this game in particular has a lot of, it has at least one like grass and bug line, which is even worse for us because grass might resist grass, or at the very least it's neutral to grass, which means we are really bad against it with Listifer.
Cool. What
Yeah,
type is
so-
Roggenrola?
Roggenrola is pure rock, and I
Nice.
believe stays that way throughout its whole evolutionary line.
Rock. I'm a Roggenrola! Rock! Rock! There are
Autobots.
Roggenrolas!
Roggenrola. The other thing that we got to consider, though, because I was thinking about this between sessions, is that we've already committed to a lot of Pokemon at this point.
Yeah.
Because we have Listifer, we have Meatman. One I'm definitely planning on getting is a particular normal flying Pokemon. Somewhere down the road. So that's 3. Then we have Chandelure, that line that I know you want, so that's 4.
Oh, yeah.
It would also generally behoove us to have a water type or some other Pokemon that can learn Surf.
Yes.
There's one that I looked up that list of Pokemon that can learn Surf shortly before the session, so I have a few like in mind that could be cool.
Okay.
I'm not set on any of them, but it'd be worth considering. And that would bring us up to 5, which would only leave 1 slot left.
Okay.
So, of course, we are going to have a full party of 6 at some point, but it's worth considering that if we fill it up early, you know, we might find Pokemon later that you're like, oh, I love this one, but not have room for it on the team, unless we switch out, which is, an option.
Yeah.
Also, if we really love Roggenrola, we could actually have one right now. I kind of skipped it by accident.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if we're set on that yet.
That's true. I don't know. I liked Roggenrola more before I started realizing how full we have the team already.
Yeah, and it just being one type.
Yeah, I don't mind the one type thing. There are worse things. But it's like, it's more about, are we in love with that 6th slot? It takes a lot to really dedicate that 6th slot to someone.
Yeah. You gotta really be sold on it.
You do. Did I go in here or what? Hang on.
I'm gonna go with what.
Oh yeah, so this is, I think, the first in-game trade that we've encountered. So sometimes in Pokemon games, NPCs will be like, hey, do you have this? I'll trade you for this other thing. There are pluses and negatives. Pluses are that trade, for one thing, all Pokemon that are traded gain experience at a faster rate. So that's cool. They're easier to raise because of that. Another common benefit of in-game trades is that they are often either the version exclusive Pokemon from the other version of your game, or a Pokemon that you can't get in any other way. So for instance, that girl wanted a Petalil, I believe is what it's called, or Petilli, maybe, I forget, and is offering a Cottony in return. So Cottony is actually black exclusive normally, and Petalil or Petilli, whichever one it's called, is white exclusive. So that, if we had this version, we're really set on Cottony and that evolution for some reason, we could do that. The one downside to the trade evolutions is that they almost always have nicknames.
Oh, and yeah.
Up until it wasn't until I think Gen 8, so Sword and Shield, that they allowed you to change the nickname of traded Pokemon.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah, so they're all named silly things and you can't change it, and it feels very unnatural to me. Also, we got a Miracle Seed.
What does it grow?
It's actually a held item. We haven't really talked about this, but there are hold items that can do different things. So that girl asked us which starter we picked, and I told her Snivy, and in return she gave us a Miracle Seed. And the Miracle Seed is a hold item that just boosts the power of grass-type moves. So
cool. It's
good for Snivy to have. So now Listifer's grass-type moves are even stronger than before, which is nice.
Buff.
Oh, look, a warehouse. Or it's a warehouse cafe. Can I fight these people? No, possibly.
So Josh, I wrote something down last session.
Okay.
I think it was off camera, we talked about it, and I wrote it down, and because I knew you would know what it meant. I wrote down furry Pokemon.
Oh, yes. I know exactly what that is. We talked a little bit post-session about how... fuck, I wasn't reading when you sang.
Josh, do you feel the same, though?
I do feel the same. That's so. I think my friends and I should test you to see if you can see this future, too. Oh. I think he was talking about a future where Pokemon and people are friends.
Oh.
He really likes friends. So, people are furry, and then naturally, okay. There are furries, and then there are furries who are like sexual about it.
Yes.
Who like want to fuck creatures, because there's a distinction, and furries are very specific about that, so I'll respect that. I get it.
Is there a different name?
I don't think so. It's just like, from what I've gathered, and I'm not a furry, so much like many things we bring up and talk about, I'm not like the most qualified person in the world to talk about this. But here's what I've observed and learned over time. Furries are people who feel comfortable or like find identity in like wearing a fursuit or like in like a fursona, and like identify with that in some way. And like usually it ends there. Like that's the extent of it. And you know, I get that. Chill, dude, you're not hurting anyone. Power to you. The furry that like became common to mock in pop culture are people who are like specifically sexual about it. And it's not to say that like there isn't overlap. The point that furries have had to reinforce and make for a long time is that not every furry is into it in a sexual way. Like it's not like, you know, it's not like it's not like all one thing. You know, it's a community, it's different people, they have different interests.
Shades of gray.
Yeah. So, oh, actually, we have a great type matchup for Timber. So, as a result, there have been many Pokemon over the course of the franchise that are like more humanoid in nature, and people are like, I want to fuck that. And so, you know, naturally, yeah. So naturally, art and things occur. And every generation kind of has like one, with a few exceptions. They have like one that kind of makes it in there into that new pool. Good job, Dad. You got money.
Thanks, Dad.
We're beating up. It's a big day. Listifer, evolve.
Are we evolving?
Buff. Yeah, we are.
Already?
Yeah, we're level 17, dude.
What?
There he is.
Servine.
Yep. Cool. Right now, my friends aren't strong enough to save all Pokemon. Maybe I can't solve the equation that will change the world. So, I need power. Power enough to make anyone agree with me. Okay, Ann, you have fun, kid. Now I know what power I need. Reshiram, the legendary Pokemon that, along with the hero, created the Unova region. It's my turn to become that hero, and you and I will be friends. That's nice, Ann. So yeah, so every generation kind of has a Pokemon that lands in the furry bin.
Yeah.
I don't remember if there is one for Gen 1. I'm kind of hard pressed to think of one. Or Gen 2 for that matter. Gen 3 has Gardevoir. That's the big one for Gen 3.
That's like the most humanoid Pokemon.
It's one of them, yes. Gen 4 had Lopunny, or Lopunny. That's in, like, it's a humanoid shape. It's still very much a bunny, but that makes it, like, fit into the furry category a lot more nicely for some people.
Yeah.
Gen 5, I don't remember if Gen 5 has one either. Gen 6, you know what, maybe it's about half and half. But Gen 8 had one, it's like Hattern or Hatternay. I never have actually read it closely enough to know how to pronounce it.
Oh.
But they always get in there. So just, you know, there are Pokemon out there that have like made that specific list.
Interesting.
This is skeleton of a dragon type Pokemon. Yep.
I'm trying to think of some, like, I can't.
Those are the big three. Gardevoir was, Lucario is another Gen 4 one that took like a more male, like a more masculine, like furry Pokemon role.
Cool.
Oh, you showing us a bunch of fossils.
Fossils.
Dun, dun, dun. This is a meteorite. We could use it probably to change Deoxys' form if we had Deoxys. This is an ordinary old stone. It was found near the desert, but other than the fact that it's old, it doesn't seem to have any value. We only display it because it's rather pretty to
He
look
thinks
at.
it's not just an old stone.
It's an old stone.
It's just an old stone?
The Pokemon gym is just beyond here. At the end of the gym, a very strong and kind gym leader is waiting. By the way, the gym leader, Lenora, happens to be my wife.
Oh.
Cute.
How sweet.
Right? So we can go ahead and... Hang on, was this? No, okay. So we could go ahead and challenge the gym, or we can head into the forest and poke around a bit. See how that's going. What you feeling, Micah?
Let's do the gym.
Want to do the gym? Okay,
Yeah.
let's see how we do.
That's what I want to do.
Oh, another thing with evolution is that we get stat boosts.
Okay.
Because like the base stats of evolved Pokemon are higher than the pre-evolution. So we're just generally buffer now. The trade-off
cool.
is that we now take more experience to level up, and in some cases, we learn moves at a higher level than we otherwise would. So it's a trade-off. So our defense and speed are still looking good. We're still higher in attack than special attack, which is good to know. In general, we're not a very hard, like, we're not really geared towards offense as we are defense, which is interesting. But we get some pretty buff moves in the future anyway, so. Yeah, we're doing good. Okay, gym it is.
Go to the gym.
Hey, dude. Pokemon gym where a leader waits for a challenger at the back of a museum. It has a great atmosphere, doesn't it? So, I will give this to you. Hydrate or dihydrate, everybody.
Thanks. Thanks for the water.
Oh yeah, so there's some fighting type Pokemon in the forest route up ahead that we could go to if we wanted to and go get. We also got to answer questions and books to progress. So that's fun.
Interesting.
Do we have time for the first fight, or should we wrap it up here?
Yeah, like 2.5 minutes.
Okay, let's do a fight.
Let's get it. People call me a worm.
Call me a worm.
I'll warn
Hello.
you. I'm strong, just like a worm.
I'll worm you. I'm strong. They call me Doctor. Oh, level 17. Okay, they're buffer than I thought they would be.
Ooh.
Interesting.
But dude, it's just Pat Rat.
It's just Patrat, but Patrat knows Bide, and that sucks. Unless we crit, then it doesn't suck.
Nice crit, dude.
That's crit me.
Take that, school kid Carter.
Yeah, Bide is a tricky move. A lot of normal type Pokemon learn it at like relatively low levels, which makes it interesting. But it's a move where you don't do anything for 2 turns, and then on the 3rd turn, you deal double damage of however much damage you took while you weren't doing anything.
Oh.
So it can be deadly. And like obviously the higher level you get, the more HP you have, so you can take more damage and deal more damage. So it can be really effective.
Right.
Fairy
So
tale about a little boy.
the risk, it's a risk reward thing, right? Because you could kill them and then they wouldn't be able to do it.
Correct.
But if you know you can't kill them, you might not attack.
Yeah, like sometimes it's better to just like in our situation, Patrat used Bide first because its speed was higher than ours, so we ended up hitting it with Psywave after it started Bide. So we already locked in with some damage. So depending on how that goes, it's very possible that like sometimes it's worth it just to gun it, like you said, and just beat it before it can get Bite off. But sometimes it's better just to wait your turn, like use some stat boosting moves,
Yeah.
and just like, you know, do your best.
Do your best, do your best, do it every day. You guys remember that?
Vaguely.
That's a good one.
Oh, it runs.
Always do your best.
Somebody maybe you're reading a book. Hey Micah,
Yeah.
next time I'm combo move, We should steal this girl's book.
Dude,